Unique Mecca Audio, man. Let me tell you how I'm doing this story. I got my man Flip tuning in. He checking it out, seeing how we doing it. So I'm going to give you a nice little prison story about Atwater to show you how, you know, when you all the way out west, how it's crazy in the penitentiary. Now, when you go out west, it ain't a whole lot of people from your car, from your, from your area. That's what we call cars. So now, we out west, and it might be like 5 or 6 dudes from New York City on the whole compound, and every unit that you in, it might have, a hundred, Serenos, 50, white boys, and I mean, it's just everything, but it's lesser use. So that's where everybody come together. So that's why I like New York, DC, Philly, Boston, Connecticut, Dirty South. All of us got to come together when we out there. Now, we out there out west, and when we first got out there, being it was only a handful of them, the Mexican brothers, no disrespect when I say Mexicans, I'm just saying the Spanish dudes like the Surenos, the Paisans and things like that, they used to carry us. They carried the East Coast because it was only a handful of us. So normally it might be like nine black dudes, and it'd be 100 Serenos, fighting 9 black dudes when something go on. So dudes used to be running and hiding and jumping through the little chute in the kitchen where they serve the food to get away from all the knife play, because it's like 100 knives coming at 9 dudes when something go down. So that's how they've been carrying it out there. But then now, we get a nice little bus load out there. So now we got about 9, 10, good men in each unit now, in each unit. So we over in a joint, and I'm gonna make this one real short and quick. But we over in a unit, and it was a Spanish dude, and he seen one of the DC brothers was making wine, and he goes in the police office. And as soon as he go in the police office and he come back out, the police come out, close the door, and he roll up in a DC dude's cell and he take the wine. So we know he told, but no disrespect to the Serenos and, the Mexican brothers out west. But what I think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I know I got, my West Coast people watching, but the way we viewed it is like they didn't look at it like telling as long as they wasn't telling on their own. So by them telling on the blacks what they doing, they didn't consider that telling. So dude come out now, and the police take the wine. So the DC brother in his feelings. So he's like, nah, man, I can't believe he done told on me like that. I'm trying to play my little debts off, and this dude gonna tell the police on me. So, he get the knife, and he's sitting there, and the Mexican brother, he walked by, and the DC dude stand up in the cut. So he pulls the knife out and he stabs the dude. Boom. So when he hits him, he runs upstairs to his cell. So when he run upstairs to his cell, he go tell his peoples what's going on, and he comes out the unit with a lock. You know what I mean? He didn't even have it in the sock. He just came out with a lock, around his finger. So he rolls up on the DC dude, and I don't know why or how it happened. Maybe because, dudes knew that we was outnumbered or whatever, but the Mexican brother rolls up on the DC dude and busts him in the head with the lock. Boom! So when he hits him in the head with the lock, they get the rumbling. So now there's other dudes upstairs. There was a few dudes laying down in their cell. So like I said, it's only 9 of us. So everybody come running up out the cells and, start swinging their knives. So now you got dudes fighting with the West Coast Mexicans in all little corners in the unit. I mean, knives is swinging everywhere. Dudes is pushing, dudes swinging chairs. I mean, it turned out into a full-fledged brawl up in that joint. So while this joint going on, everybody's sitting there like, got their backs against the wall. And these are the dudes that's supposed to be the tough dudes that's always talking trash, to each other, meaning the black dudes. No disrespect, I'm gonna tell it like it is. This was the GDs. The GDs a lot of the GDs, I ain't gonna say all of them, a lot of GDs always get into it with DC for some reason, because GDs is always deep, in the prisons, just like DC deep in the prison. So The GD dudes that's always talking aggressive, they got their back against the wall. They not even trying to get involved in it for real, for real. But, you know, the Dirty South got involved. You know, Philly got involved. New York got involved. Everybody gets involved except for the GD dudes, the ones that's always talking trash to everybody. But we pushing and we going. So now the police come running up in there, and the dude, they hit the dude in the head with the lock. The one that got hit with the lock, he grabbed the dude and he hold him down in the headlock, and he trying to get the lock from him, but he holding his hand with the lock, and he beating him in his head with his own hand with his own lock, right? So they going at it. So the police come and he starts spraying the DC dude with the mace, but the DC dude ain't stopping. He's still going. They emptying a whole can of mace in his face, but he's still working this dude, right? So now, when that happens, another DC dude comes and knocks the police out, boom, for spraying his man with the mace. So now they don't call more police in there. So now it's a mad brawl up in there. So now it's the blacks against the Mexican brothers and the police. And it's crazy because, just so you understand how this works, out there in the West Coast, the Mexican police is who run the jail, so they roll with their own kind. When I say they roll with their own kind, I mean, it's like, if it's against the blacks, they're gonna hold down the Mexican inmates, which is crazy, but that's the way it is. But then now, the black police, they come in, they're gonna still roll with the Mexican police. So the blacks is always outnumbered, and the white dudes normally get involved too. But it's crazy because the Indian dude got involved for the Mexican dudes and busted one of the Philly homeboys in the head with a chair. When he hits him in the head with the chair, right, now, we jumps on the Indians too, but it was only one Indian that got involved. But I'm saying this so that you youngins know, don't go in prison, man, because like I said, it took one dumb Indian to go swing the chair and get involved to wind up getting all the other Indians that ain't want no parts of nothing stabbed up, because once that happened, we don't care who's who, what's what, everybody getting stabbed up. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going down. So don't go to prison thinking that, oh, I'm going to stay to myself, I ain't going to get involved. Because when you go like out west and things like that, when the race get involved, you know, like the Bloods, the Crips, everybody get involved when it's a black against another race. Because we got to, because we outnumbered. Because like I said, you know, it's more Spanish people out there, Mexicans out there with the Paisans, the SURENOs, the white boys roll with them. I mean, it's crazy. So that's why I say don't even get involved. Don't go to prison, because this is the way it's going to go down. I mean, it was blood everywhere. So now they don't come, they don't locked everybody up. They put us in the shoe. So now they put us in the shoe, and when we go back in the shoe and we get in the joint, they leave us back there for about 2 weeks. So while we back there for the 2 weeks, the other units pop off. You know what I mean? Because if it's a race joint, it don't matter if it's in that unit, they still homies, you know? So now the unit that the fight jumped off in, now here it is jumping off in another unit the next day, you know? So they lock it back down, lock them up. Then the next day it jump off again. You know, until every day this is going on, until they just said, forget that. They locked the jail down and they start threatening to ship people. But nobody cares about none of that. Bottom line is, we ain't let nobody put their hands on us. Dude told on the wine. So therefore, you know, dude got stabbed like he was supposed to. But then he went and got a lock, you know. Yeah, the hot dude went and got a lock, busted dude in the head. Then that just started all types of brawl. But I just want y'all to understand how this thing going to prison, man. This joint ain't nothing nice in there, so don't think that you're going to go to prison and you're going to fall back and say, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because when those Mexicans start pushing, they don't care if you from Chicago, Detroit, Connecticut, Miami. If you black, you getting stabbed, you involved. You know, so you can't say that, oh, that's the DC car, I'm not getting involved. That's the New York car, I'm not getting involved. No, that don't happen out west. So that's why I'm telling y'all, don't go out there, because you don't want to get caught up in that bull, you know. But after all that mayhem done happen, we all back there in the shoe. They lock it down, so now they come, they get a few of us, and they take us out to the rec cage. So when they get us in the rec cage, they got us all in separate cages, but they want us to talk to each other, meaning, you know, the blacks to talk to the, you know, the Mexican brothers that we fighting with, you know, and the Indians and the white boys that got involved, so that we could, you know, see how we gonna rectify it amongst ourselves. But they got us in cages so that we can't get to each other, you know. So of course, we tell them everything is good. But the only thing about prison is once you give your word on something, that's the end of it. You understand what I'm saying? So now we told the administration everything was good just so that we could all get back out. But we had to leave it at it that it was good. But we told the administration, yo, we're going to handle it, but we're not going to handle it in a group demonstration. But dude want to see dude that hit him in the head with the lock that told. You understand what I'm saying? So they said, all right, we're going to let y'all out. We're going to let y'all handle that. So they let us out. When they let us out, we went to the shot callers. We told the shot callers, yo, my man trying to see your man. You understand what I'm saying? Because he snuck him with the lock. Then the other homie said, we trying to see the Indian, you know what I mean, that got involved, that ain't had nothing to do with it. You understand what I'm saying? And we want a one-on-one, you know what I mean? Or we going to all, you know, go at it again. But we got to see this dude, man. And the one that told, he got to go. We don't care nothing about all that. It wasn't one of y'all's he told on or none of that. He got to go, you know? So when they let us back out, they go back in the cell with knives, blood everywhere. You know what I mean? It was blood everywhere. But, you know, the administration was with that because that was a one-on-one. They just took them, and, you know, the dude that wound up telling, they wound up getting rid of him. And, of course, you know, no disrespect to the Mexican brothers, but they said that they didn't know that he told this and that, and they played it that way. But the way it looked to us, like if they didn't have a problem with him telling, as long as it wasn't on their own. So if I'm wrong about that, I want my brothers to let me know, how does that work out there, man? Because we never really knew that, because they got their own codes they keep amongst themselves, you know? But, you know, that's where it's at. I just wanted to tap in, let y'all know a little something what was going on, and just see where we at so we get an understanding. But that's why I tell the youngins, don't get involved, don't go to prison, because it ain't worth it, man. It definitely ain't worth it, because these are the politics you got to deal with. When one get involved, everybody got to get involved, because when they start pushing that knife, they don't care where you from, you know, who you with, or none of that. Everybody getting stabbed from that race by the other race, and you don't have a choice. You don't have a say-so, and that's the way it is. Now, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and cop the book of Roaring Harlem, man. And big shout out to my man Flip. All right, so I'm about to tap out. I just wanted to give y'all a little short one. I know y'all like when I make them long, but I just had to get that right to the point so you understand how crazy this go, man. So, you know, this started with a SURENO telling on a DC, so we gonna call this SURENO versus the DC car, so you know how this thing go, man. All right.
Mecca what? Mecca audio.